This is everything you need to know about solo traveling to Barbados. My name is Valerie, self-proclaimed solo travel expert. Okay, just got back from Barbados. So, let's get into these. Baby, I made notes. Let's get into it. First of all, where is Barbados? It's located in the Lesser Antilles and is the easternmost point of all of the Caribbean islands. It's a single island and is neighbors with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as St. Lucia. Now that we're looking at the map, it's really interesting that someone pointed out to me that Barbados is kind of shaped like Africa upside down. Yeah, now I can't unsee it. Flights. If you're getting to Barbados from the UK, then it's super easy because there's multiple flights running daily. I personally traveled with North Atlantic, but I know that the British Airways and Virgin all have flights which are direct to Barbados. Flights take around about 7 to 9 hours depending on the route in which they take in the sky, and always if you're traveling off peak, it's going to be cheaper than going when there's like a holiday or a festivity. Money. So the currency is Bajan dollars, but US dollars are also used interchangeably. When you're working with cash, you may even receive a US dollar, and that's absolutely normal. For every US dollar is 2 Bajan dollars. So roughly for every £1 is around about $2.50, and then $2.50 in American, and then you would double that if you're working in the Bajan dollars. But just have a converter on your phone or somewhere at hand so you don't get confused. But yeah, for every American dollar is 2 Bajan dollars. Now that we're talking about money, I just want to throw in there, and I know I'm probably going to repeat myself, Barbados isn't the cheapest of places, okay? Don't expect to go there and have the experience that you might have in like Southeast Asia, I don't know, like somewhere in like Thailand, which I haven't been, but by God's grace I will go. But yeah, like Barbados is not cheap. I just want to put that out there. It's not cheap. And you also want to make sure that you have cash, because things like taxis operate with cash. You might go to a food place that is only taking cash, so you always want to have cash on you. There are moments in which you can pay by card. I use my Monzo card and I use my NatWest card, no problems whatsoever. A lot of places also take contactless payment, but you just always want to have that cash for the taxis. If you're taking taxi, if you haven't rented a car, which I'm going to speak about, you just always want to have cash, as well as you can use your cards as well. Hotels and accommodation. Now again, I just said it, I'm gonna say it again. Barbados is not a cheap place. I'm personally an Airbnb babe. I've Airbnb'd my last few trips. Absolutely love it. I love the idea of buying fresh fruit and chopping that bad boy up and having that as like breakfast in the morning. So that's why I'll be choosing the Airbnbs. They're not cheap. I personally stayed in Bank Hall because I am infamous for staying in the areas in which the rest of the population is staying. Bank Hall is a residential area, you know, it's not really like a tourist place. But if you're looking for hotels, there are plenty of beachfront hotels and hotels near to the beach, which have like, you get your wristband with them and you get access to the food buffet that you could, you know, essentially once you pay for the hotel, you don't have to pay for food again because you have access to it in your hotel. However, me personally, I would highly recommend you go out, you eat from loads of different places, because it's the Caribbean. Like, eat eat food type of thing. But yeah, no, getting sidetracked. Hotels. You got plenty Airbnb options, and you also do have, as I said, your beachfront hotels, and there's just heaps of accommodation. There's been places and islands that I've been to when there's not much access to somewhere to stay. This is not one of them. There's plenty. Not cheap, budget, save, but they're there. Easy access. Airbnb, booking.com. You want to make sure that you're watching where you want to go. So if you've got your eye on something, maybe go on like a comparison website and check who's doing it for the cheapest type of thing. Getting around the island. So I will say this. If you want to really gallivant, you really need to make sure that you got some wheels, okay? If you can drive, get yourself a rented car. Yeah. And if you can't or you don't want to, then have a taxi number at hand. I have an amazing friend. His name is Fabian. He took such good care of me. I no longer see him as just a taxi man. That is my friend. I will put his number here. You can always just message him and say Valerie sent you, and you know, you're looking to tour the island. He does island tours, you know, wherever you're going, he can pick you up, drop you off. Just super friendly, lovely conversation, great person. But yeah, getting around the island, you either want to rent a car, have a taxi number, and book in advance. So if you're dressed to, if you feel like, oh, I'm going to be dressed in the next 10 minutes, let me call a taxi. No, it does not work like that. Plan a day in advance, like minimum type of thing. You do get situations in which, let's say you're at the beach and there's taxi men which are around and you can get a taxi back home real quick like that. But then if you're doing trips to, let's say, places that you want to see, you want to go to a particular restaurant, plan at least a day in advance. For example, I would tell Fabian that I would like to go to this place tomorrow. Could you please pick me up at 12:30 type of thing? That was the time that we starting a day midday. But I would ask him a day in advance. And then obviously because he's working, he's got other people that he needs to drop off. The world doesn't revolve around me. It doesn't revolve around you. He would adjust his day accordingly, drop me off to wherever it needed to be. And then I would also ask him for the pickup and the drop off type of thing. Yeah. Wait, let me add to that before I stop. The buses are really easy to use. Again, I was in Bank Hall and there was one particular bus which was literally right up my road and took me to the center of everything. It took me to town. Each bus costs you $350. So one way ticket, there's no like weekly system or anything like that with the buses. You literally just get the one-off price. The buses are really interesting, okay? There was times in which I was sat there holding on and I was like, to the bashman, and I loved it because I was like, I'm not in the UK because TFL could never, okay. Yeah, there's buses which you have access to as well. $350 is the fare for any one way. It doesn't matter the distance, but highly recommend that you are having a taxi number or renting a car. And then if you're feeling ambitious like I was and you're planning on walking, just be realistic, okay? Because I was unrealistic with some of the walks that I was going to do. I did like a 30-minute walk and that was at most. And that was the first time that I got to the beach. Ever since then, and I realized the price of the taxi, because $10 is 10 Bayesian dollars is 5 US. 5 US is around about 4 something, right? I'm going to pay that to get home rather than walking 30 minutes. But that's enough yibba yabba from me with regards to travel. Food and drink. So Barbados is the home of Mount Gay rum. So if you drink rum or you're into like alcohol and stuff like that, definitely take a moment to try out the rum from where it was made. There's also I think it's called an expedition where you can go and see the factory in which it's made type of thing. But if you're not into that, that's absolutely fine. I personally didn't go myself. If you are staying, as I said, with the hotels, you have a wristband and you have access to food in the hotel. That's great. But I would recommend you get out there and try the aunties cooking on the street side type of thing. Everybody's super clean. I will give you that. Like, obviously, you can judge a situation as best as possible, but everyone's food standard height is up there. Try the food on the side of the street. Travel to different places and try out different foods, and don't stay in the cluster of where like this tourists stay. On average, your meals are going to cost $20 to $30, which is around about £8 to £10, £8 to £12-ish is your average cost of meal. But just like any other place, if you're going to somewhere more expensive, like a fancy restaurant, like I went to a place called La Cabane, that's going to cost you more than your standard street side food or just like your regular shops. You have your KFCs, you have Chefette as well, which you have access to, which personally I just feel like if you're on a Caribbean island, there is food to eat and you don't need to be eating fried food like that. I tried it just to try. Me personally, I did a review on that. Check out my other videos about Chefette. But yeah, eat the food. It is amazing. There's also a lot of Jamaicans on the island, so you will come across Jamaican food and it tastes like, the food is amazing for me personally. Great food. I had a chicken party while I was there. I was eating a lot of chicken. I can't even lie to you, type of thing. However, what was I going to say? The fish, I went to Oyston's Fish Fry on Fridays. Happens every Friday. So if you are in Barbados, check it out. Take some time to go there. It is an experience. It is one of the things. I didn't get to try Pat's Place, but I highly recommend if you get there on time or you're willing to wait the queue, because the queue was crazy. I tried Mojo's and I think it was called My, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at my list real quick. I might be wrong. I think it was My, or is it Marlin fish? I'm not a big fan of fish, but that was really nice. I just continued eating fish. I mean chicken, even at the fish fry. But yeah, no, the food is good. Food is really, really good, really tasty. You get really healthy portions as well. So yeah, the weather. Okay, it is hot. And it's not just, I've been in 32 degrees in Cape Verde and not burnt, but day one on the Caribbean island of Barbados, I got burnt. Okay, I got burnt. Someone said maybe because the island is flat, that's why the sun is directly on it, and it's just like, now I know because that was my first Caribbean island. Any Caribbean island that I go to, baby, I'm SPF in, SPF 50 in. So be warned and take heed. Yes, even as a black person, please put sunscreen on and top up regularly because the heat will catch you. Excursions. So there's lots of things that you can do in Barbados, from going in on a day trip around the island to doing water sports, and you can book it on Get Your Guide. They are not paying me for this. I'm just saying, Get Your Guide. Watch your girl, watch your girl. However, if you don't want to book for whatever reason in advance, you can walk on the beach and you'll be met with loads of people who have loads of things going on, and you can book through them. They do give you a fair deal. Nobody's gonna cheat you. Like, I trust them so much. There's been instances in which I've had to really unlearn my skepticism of being a UK person, because they will, like, they're genuine. They're not gonna bump no price up or do any of that sus stuff that you might think people do. They don't. They generally don't. Last but not least, the people in general, and just any extra things that come to mind. The people are absolutely amazing. They're so warm and welcoming. Their hospitality is top notch. There was never a point in which I felt neglected, and any time that I might have felt like something was wrong, it wasn't necessarily a Bayesian. It would be other people from other islands that I was interacting with, but never was it a Bayesian. Someone said it best when I was speaking to them in Karma Beach Club. It's an open culture. So me coming from the UK, hearing someone ask me, oh, where are you staying? I'm thinking, why you want to know where I stay? No, it's just, where are you staying? Maybe I know someone who lives there. And that's literally the conversation. Where are you staying? I'm staying in Bangkok. Oh, my auntie live around the corner. She live around there, right by the gym. I'm like, yeah, I'm there too. I'm like, yeah, my auntie, I gonna see her, type of thing. Like, oh, it's really, really nice. The people are amazing. Also, I forgot to mention, Bajans speak English. As a former British colony, it's the main language. So you'll be all right in that regard. However, I will say, Bajan English has, I'm almost going to call it a Creole. I don't know if it would be considered that in Barbados, but you might not be able to understand everyone. So don't feel the type of way if you are asking someone to repeat themselves or slow it down, type of thing. However, everyone speaks English, so it's so easy to get around in that regard. Even when okay, so when I spoke about the weather, even when it's raining, it was pretty warm, and it doesn't cool down too tough. Like, it stays hot. So again, prepare yourself for the heat. People are amazing. I didn't have any issues with running water. Oh, you can drink the tap water in Barbados. That's super important to know. So I saved a whole heap of money on water because you can drink tap water, and it tasted better than any tap water that I ever tasted. Thames River, Thames Valley water. You can drink the tap water. Anything else? If there's anything that I missed and you want me to speak of in regard to Barbados, please do let me know in the comments. I think I've covered the main stuff. If you're traveling there, please, again, if you need a taxi man, hit my boy up, Fabian. He's got you. If you want to book any excursions, let me know as well, because I have a couple numbers and a couple contacts. I have a couple numbers and a couple contacts for you, because I got you. I might leave them in the comments below, or like in my description, or I might need you to just message me. If you're coming from any other country apart from the UK too, go to Barbados. If you're coming from like the Americas, either south or north, you're good too. There's loads of direct flights because it is a bit of a hot spot. Apart from that, I'm so glad that you are here till the end. Thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned, because we're not done with the Caribbean. God willing, we'll be there soon. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But we're going to a Spanish-speaking island. So, vale, vale. Vale, vale. Is it vale? Baile, baila? Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.